Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Doujinshi's HenTaI Reviews. We are back once again with another episode. With the first episode, actually, of... I've been practicing the name because I am white as fuck. Now let's see if I can get this right. Oideyo, Mizuryuu, K-Land, Episode 1. If I fuck that up, like I said, and I may review it, but I did not make it, and I am not where it's from. Quite the very opposite, in fact. Okay. Now, on to the actual episodic understanding of it overall. This is episode 1 of a 2-part series done by the company Bunny Walker. I'm slowly starting to become more and more familiar with it. I may have already done them, but it's kind of like a shonen and seinen about how they both they're very popular, but you're kind of hard-pressed to figure out which is which in that scenario. A lot of times, because sometimes they can switch between each other. But I digress. This singular episode is 16 minutes and 58 seconds long. Of the average, about 2 minutes of it being credits, with 12 categories in total. Notable tags are cosplay, orgy, public, and Oideyo. This one was a little tricky to do when it comes to the timing of each, quote, scene that is in it. Because there is persistent nudity throughout. Now, the times, I may have been a little frugal with the way that I explained when certain sex scenes were brought in. Now, let me get this down to concrete. For the sake of clarity, sex scene is determined, personally by me, when it is guaranteed that they are going to do it, and physical contact has been established between the two in a lewd nature that is intentional on both their parts. Alright. This is a special case, though, given the fact that, well, as we get into the premise, you'll understand. So, let's get into it. Well, it starts off with a bus full of people going to a theme park specifically set up for people to show up and indulge in their more animalistic natures when it comes to primal urges, how we say, but a lot more clean and well done, if we might say so. The entire bus consists of a lot of people, but our main two who are the female protagonist and the male protagonist. They both have their own groups, but they are not together. As the female protagonist is leaving, she makes brief eye contact with the male character, and then proceed onward into the actual scene itself, where they are introduced to the policies of the area, and are also shown off in a lot of different ways. The males being required to undergo certain cleanings to make sure that they don't spread any sort of STDs, and they are given a special type of condom that they are put over, and that turns invisible, and almost acts as if it's not there. Hey, it's there for plot reasons, but overall, understandable. Women go through the same thing with a sort of let's just call it a deep washing thing. I don't want to get into specifics because I'm trying to keep this channel up as much as possible. Monetize is not what we're doing. We're just trying to be alive. Now, after they get cleaned up and ready to go, it then leads into its first scene at 5 minutes and 5 seconds. And leads into 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Overall, relatively short, but there is a ton of nudity in between that area and where it is right now. This scene happens to be between the friends of the female protagonist and another group of people, given that sex is a very common thing when you're in this sort of situation. It's almost like a handshake, and they make sure that you know that. They bring that up all the time. Now, the guy friends put him up for a erotic Ferris wheel, with the rules of 2 people, each going from different sides of the Ferris wheel, go up in the wheel, and then they have however long it takes to get around in a circle to do what they want with each other, and it gets pretty explicit. Leading into the next scene where, as fate would have it, the male carrier meets the female character. I wonder what will happen. They bone. It leads into the next scene, spanning from 6 minutes and 50 seconds to 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Just under 2 minutes. Now, after that, both groups meet up and decide to head back to a rest cottage to make sure that they are well acquainted for a parade that's coming later. They do exactly what you think. A whole bunch. If you've never seen Friday the 13th, then you don't know. Then I feel like you need to go out and watch some more classic schlocky horror movies. If somebody's going into a cabin and they're a whole bunch of teenagers, or they're at least that sort of young, someone's getting laid. In this case, it's 4 people all at once in the same place. No shame. I respect the fuck out of it. Now, after both groups go there, it leads into scene number 3 at 9 minutes even and leading into 12 minutes even. 3 minutes total on the dot. Congratulations. That is a really good... That's a good length for it, and it's also pleasing on the fact that it is actual numbers. Good for you guys. The group of people then plan to go to a performance, the parade, as which I was referring to, and then the 2 main characters, the female being, let's just say tired and in a little bit worse for wear, decides to not go along, and the male character deciding to stay back and watch her. They get better acquainted and then confess their feelings. The guy saying that, hey, I understand that it's weird for us to be in such a raunchy place, and then me to say that I really, really like you, but I have bad timing anyway. And the girl says, well, you know, I'm actually a horrible, horrible pervert, and I really think it would be a good idea if you would know that about me. And the guy's like, I don't give a fuck. You're a nice person on the inside. And then they get gross again. And I'm pretty sure, if I can turn the page, leading into the exact next scene at 14 minutes and 10 seconds in, leading to 14 minutes and 45 seconds in of which case it then gives a closing monologue that then leads into the credits with a soft kind of J-pop song playing in the background as it shows off what was going on during the performance, parade, whatever happens. And overall, let's get into the ratings of it. The overall animation, choppy in some scenes, but untaintable in others. This is art. The animation. So, using fluid for this would be a very choice word, but I would very much like to use it because it pretty much fits. Some portions of it are not the best animated, but they work with a lot of what they have, and they do it damn well. Well, now there may be faults, but this is not perfect. Nothing is. I would like to give this a 7 out of 10 when it comes to animation. Slow in some regards, but it doesn't fall into any pit traps. And that's a plus in my book. Now, the characters for it. You get a sense of difference and uniqueness above them. Each guy definitely has their own personality and also has their own flavor of how they're introduced into these raunchy scenes. And I would like to congratulate them for making me actually know the difference between a lot of them. I didn't get them confused. So, 8 out of 10. Very well done. Few pitfalls, or at least few weaker spots, but nothing that I couldn't have done. But nothing that's done here isn't done better than I could have done. And now, what you've all been waiting for and what you're all here to see. The plot. It is dirty as fuck. And it's damn good at it. Oh, it's good at it. Now, giving a specific reason why this is so good would be outside of my capabilities. Giving you a feel. It's just so much that I couldn't give in words. The plot in this, 8 out of 10. it doesn't have the tags that would have turned it into a 10 out of 10 for me, but a 10 out of 10 is always an 8 out of 10 for somebody else. A 10 out of 10 for me could be an 8 out of 10 for anybody, or a 3 out of 10, or nothing. But this is good shit. This is good shit, and I would recommend it. Overall, it is dirty, it's gross, it's shameless, it's hot as fuck, and I would recommend it at a solid 8 out of 10. And I would highly recommend anybody who hasn't seen it, watch it, but watch it with earbuds in, because it gets loud, and it gets explicit. That being said, 8 out of 10, would recommend highly. Now on to our closing remarks. To all my patients who have been subscribed this entire time, I thank you from the bottom of my crusty, slow-beating heart. Thank you every possible way, and twice on Sundays. Thank you all for everything that you've been, for being along the ride. And to the people who actually stick around and watch the whole video, thank you even more. Now, make sure you're safe out there. Make sure you're clean, because a lot of people are getting pretty gross, at least where I live. And don't be a dick. There's too many of them in the world. But until next time, I have been the Doctor. Peace out.